discuss Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 15 and text 5. That's what we're going to do. You can repeat after me, I'll explain that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nirmana moha chitta sanga dosha. Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha. Dvandair vimuktaha sukha dukha sangai. Gacchantya muraha padam avyayam tat. So, this is chapter 15, text 5. And we are going to discuss this verse, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. I'll explain the purport, but I'm reading the translation now. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from dualities of happiness and distress, and one bewildered know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to the eternal kingdom. So, did you understand anything? Did you get what I am saying? Little bit, I'll explain now. Okay, Srila Prabhupada says, yes, surrendering process is described here very nicely. Let us discuss this verse. It's a beautiful verse. Before that, I'll just offer obeisance. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Sharamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Lord Krishna, he says, Lord Krishna in this 15th chapter is one of the smallest chapter of Bhagavad Gita, only 20 verses. And also the sweetest chapter, because it is a summary of all Upanishads. So if you want to read a chapter daily, that's 15th. So daily, if you want 15th and probably 12th also. 12th is also the smallest one, 20 verses. So this chapter, 15th chapter is telling everything what you need to know. He has to go this side, otherwise he'll just... These children are like that. So, this chapter is talking about this material world. It's talking about devotion, talking about devotees, and it's talking about God. Everything, basically. That's what we need to know. We need to know about God. We need to know about this material world. We need to know what is our relationship with the material world. And also we need to know how to get out of this material world. All these questions. So, what does Krishna say here? Krishna in this verse, he is describing how to surrender to God. What is devotion, by the way? That's what he is describing. What is devotion? But basically, first the question comes, why we have to do devotion? Why at all to do devotion? Why to chant his names? Why we have to offer food to God? What's the use? Can we do something with this child? I can't focus now. Either we have to take her inside or do something. I can't speak, sorry. If she makes noise, I can't speak. What to do? You please take care of that, otherwise I can't speak. I'm not able to focus. Can you hear me, all of you?
Yes,
Okay. I don't know, somehow I can't focus because people are moving here and there, and it's I'm like getting disturbed. Okay, so Krishna here is describing the process of surrender, how to surrender to him. Now in India, or anywhere, I mean to say in any religion, Islam or Christianity, shh. Mother, can you actually, they have to go in the room. I can't help her out. She'll not keep quiet. She's a toy.
She can go and play in another room, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in the room she can go. She doesn't understand what's going on.
You will also hear there actually. The speaker will allow you to hear there.
Hare Krishna. Actually, others will also not be able to understand. That's why, it's important. Okay, so in other religions like Islam and Christianity, what happens is people know about God. People want, and people have some devotional sentiments, but they don't know how to actually do devotion. They don't know that. Just like so many of you have come here, probably are invited, and of course, as Indians, we don't mind chanting holy names and a program, devotional program. But at the same time, we don't know exactly how to connect to God. It's almost like okay, everybody knows cooking, but experts cook are different. That's why most of Matajis, they go on YouTube and see who is that who is that cook? What are the famous cooks in Sanjeev? What's that? Sanjeev Kapoor. Or maybe some female cook might be there. Many. So they are more expert. They're expert. So you have to see and you have to learn. So they're making the same thing, you're making the same thing, but there's a lot of difference. Their taste is different. Even in singing, we can sing the same song and a singer can sing the same song, but there is a lot of difference in sweetness. There's sweetness in the voice. Now, how he got that sweetness? Facebook. Okay, it's done. Otherwise, just forget it. Anyway. So so what I was saying, you have to learn how to do devotion. So it might seem simple. Okay, we are chanting, everybody's chanting, but there's a difference. When pure devotees chant, Lord, God is attracted towards them. When ordinary people chant, God is not attracted because they're not trained in chanting. The chanting is not sweet to the ears of God. It's mechanical. Why? Because the mind is all over. It's not focused on the holy names. So it needs a bit of training. Just like, for example, Tantric. You know Tantrics? You know Tantric? So if you go to Tantric, they will chant some mantras, and by those mantras they can do some magic. I've seen Tantrics. So, but if you chant the same mantra, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. You might say, I chanted the same thing. But nothing happened because he has trained himself how to chant. He has done so many other things. And he knows exactly what to think while chanting. That's the whole point. He knows what to think while chanting. He knows he has purity. He has understanding, and that's what it makes a difference. A parrot can chant God's name, but he's a parrot. That's how it goes. He's simply a parrot. So if parrots keep on chanting Ram, 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 what will happen to him? Will he become devotee? Nothing. Why? He's chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. But nothing is going to happen because it's a parrot. It doesn't understand what it's doing. So if any action without knowledge is of no use. Simple. It's a blind action. It's a superstition. It's a ritual. It's absolutely of no use. So that's why we have to know how to do devotion. We have to understand, and it takes time. So Krishna is explaining how to do devotion. In other words, when you chant God's name, it should reach Him. Your chanting should reach Him in the spiritual world. Just like you see that in when we were a child, we have that movie Superman. You know that Superman. We have seen Superman. Children, they see Superman? No. Okay. So in that Superman, this child who was lost, and his mother says, "Well, you call Superman, and Superman is not there." So she says, "Well, Superman has super ears. If you call him, he can hear anywhere he is in this planet." So Superman has super ears. God has super ears. Am I right? If you chant God's name here, He can hear from very far. He can hear your voice. Just like we were chanting Hare Krishna, He can hear. But the whole point is, He can hear, but your chanting should be pure enough to impress Him, to attract His attention. That's the whole point there. Otherwise, He'll not be attracted towards you. And if His attention doesn't come on you, then we are alone in this material world. Who is there with us? Nobody. You might think our husband, our wife, our children are with us. Nobody is there with us. We are all alone. We are all alone. It seems they are with us in practical things, in social things, but at the same time, we are leading our own life, and we have our own destiny. We have our own karmas. We have to all action, reaction will come. I mean to say, if you become diseased, you can't share your disease with your spouse. Am I right? Can you do that? You can't do that. Although you're living together, you can't do that. You can share everything, but you can't share your disease. What do you do with that? What about death? You can't share your death. I'm dying. Oh, my dear husband, please save me. Or husband will say, my dear wife, please save me. Okay, let's share death. Half for you, half for me. You can't do that. It's your destiny. You're alone in these things. You have to suffer alone. They can console you, but no, not more than that. But if you chant God's name and God's attention comes on you, then He is there with you. He can do impossible possible. Am I right? Prabhupada used to say that if you connect yourself with God somehow, by chanting purely, by chanting in a way that He wants to make friendship with you, that's the whole point. He likes you. Okay, this devotee is nice. I'm impressed by his chanting. If he comes in connection with you, he can do impossible possible, what he cannot achieve. Then you are safe. Actually, that's why Veda says that we are so afraid. Everybody is so insecure. We feel insecurity inside. Am I right? We are so, especially in America, you feel insecurity. I mean to say, if you don't have a job for 3 months, you're out of America. Is it like that? 3-4 months, how much savings you have? You're out, finished. So everybody is very tensed for the jobs, for money. It's a lot of insecurity. But for a devotee, he's not tensed. Because he knows, anyway, problems come, but he has a friend. And who is he? Krishna. He's here with us. Why is with us? Because we are with him, always. That's all. A friend in need is a friend in. That's all. But the whole point is, if you have nothing to do with him, I mean to say, if you are leading your own life and you do some puja for some kind of ritual, or you go to a Hindu temple. There are Hindu temples here? Yes. Yeah, many Indians go to Hindu temple. You go to Hindu temple and do some, pata nahi kya karte hain wahan par, I don't know what they do, but they do something. They go and pranam. That's all. It's a show off, that's all. You go so that you feel nice. that we went to temple, and then you get some prasad and come back, and then your whole life is the same. You have nothing to do with God. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Am I right? Nothing. God can see. You can't fool him. He can see what you want. He can see your deepest desires. And he will ask you. When you go to temple, he'll see in your eyes and he'll ask you, what exactly you want? And what's your answer? You don't want God. You want money. You want peace. You want your own things. So he says, okay, if you want your own things, I have my own things. That's all. Goodbye. Then it's your own life. So you see, that's what Krishna says in a whole Gita. Unite with me, and that's called yoga. That is called yoga. Unite. Krishna says, unite with me. Connect with me. Oh, this word connect is very famous in America, isn't it? Connect with people. Connect is in India it's not so famous word, but in America it's very famous. You have to connect with. How they say? Connect with people.
It's used in multiple contexts.
Yeah.
Connect in the sense we have the same frequency of understanding.
Yeah.
We have the same networking.
Yeah, generally they use this word connect. The whole word is connected. We have to connect, and why not connect with God? Simple. So, okay, now here is a point there. People don't try to connect with God because first they have doubts whether God exists or not. That's one thing. You can connect to somebody who you see and is there. I can connect, but God you cannot see. That's a big problem, by the way. You can't see, so how to connect? And if you can't see a person, then you don't have a belief that he exists at all. He didn't talk to you anytime. He didn't come to you and tell you that I'm God and I'm here. And you have no idea. So first, how to connect? First of all, why to connect? And to say who is God? So that's a big question there. That's why people have, because of this ignorance, because you can't see him, that's why you can't feel him, you can't experience him. Where is he? So people don't feel the need to connect with him. And even if God comes here, suppose if here I am now. So will you, okay, if Krishna comes outside and he says, here I am, so all people are outside, will they connect with him then?
Most likely not.
Yes or no? Hey, I'm God, I'm available, and please join with me and chant my names and spend your life like that, and I'll protect you.
Will still not believe him. No, they could.
I mean to say, you can always say, how do I believe that you're God? You're Krishna, you might be imposter. Isn't it? Who are you? We don't know. You have to give some evidence. And then he flies in the sky and he makes sun disappear. And he says, hey, see, I'm God. Sun is disappearing. In the night, he brings sun up. See, I'm God. I can do anything. Now will you join me? Would you want to be with me? So would you want to be with him? Most of the people will not opt for that. You know why?
Because they know that the earth revolves around the sun, and that he didn't bring it up, so that's why they won't believe him.
Oh, really? No. He did it actually. So most of the people will not actually be with him because they are too attached to their own ideas, own life, own people. And by the way, Krishna proposes, okay, let's go. He said, come on, hang on. We have our money, we have our children, we have this, we have that, we have that, we have this, we have that. That will happen. So that shows that actually we are not really, we don't understand who is God. We don't understand who is he. You see, I'll tell you one thing. Pashuram was there. You know Pashuram, Lord Pashuram? His father's name is Jamadagni. So, and his mother's name is Renuka. So Jamadagni told all his sons. He had like 5, 6 sons. How many sons he had? Whatever. 5, 4, 3, and 1 Pashuram. Pashuram was his son and 3 others. So he told his sons, you kill your mother, because his mother Renuka, she went to a pond, and there were some demigods they were, and demigoddesses, so they were playing in the pond, and she saw them, and she was little attracted towards these demigods and demigoddesses. So her mind got little polluted, and Jamadagni could understand that she's no longer chaste. So she comes back, and he tells, you are impure now, you're not fit to be with me, you thought something wrong. And that's why he told his first son, you kill your mother. I mean to say, they were very like strict in that, because at that time, I'm talking thousands of years back. So and especially he was a rishi, and she was a rishi patni, and they, from them it is expected a very high moral values at that time. So he said, you kill her. So the first son, he said no. Second son, he said no. Third son, he said no. Jamadagni said, you all sons are useless. So he, by his eyes, he burned them. He says, you are useless, so forget it. But then he asked Pashuram, and you know what Pashuram did? Pashuram took his axe, without thinking, he just cut her head. Finish. And then she's dead. So then what to do? So then Jamadagni was very happy. He said, you are my son because you followed my order. And you know how much powerful I am. So he said, you ask a boon. And Pashuram said, okay, I want a boon that my mother should come back to life. He knew how powerful his father is. And I want a boon that she should not remember that I killed her. And she should not remember anything of it. And all those 3 sons should also come back to life. So everybody came back to life, everything was over. You see the whole point? He did it because he understood how powerful his father was. So that's why if Krishna says, you come with me, and if you say, oh, what will happen to my son, my husband, my property, I have to take care, how can I come with you? That means you don't know how powerful he is. He can do anything. He can take you back, and then he can do something that so maybe before you are there in spiritual world, your children and your husband and everybody is there. He can do. So that's the whole point there. Krishna is telling here how to connect with God. But before that, you have to understand who is God, how much powerful he is. And especially in India, there's a big confusion. I mean, so India, everybody's God. That's a whole problem there. So anyway, I'm not going into that. Let's just take it for granted. Krishna is God. Here, I'm not explaining you that Lord Shiva, Brahma, Durga, they are not God. They are his powerful servants. But there's just one God, and there will always be one God, and that is Krishna. That's all. Because there cannot be many gods. It's absolutely ridiculous. And especially, I mean to say, India is such a ridiculous place that India outside also, all these gurus, they say, I am God. Am I right? And people believe. They are saying I am God. That's not wrong. That doesn't surprise much. Because everybody says, we are God. And Hiranyakashipu, he is a demon, and he was saying, I am God. Raman was saying, I am God. That's okay. People have been saying they are gods. But the whole point is, others who are with them, they believe them that this person is God. That's more shocking and surprising. How can they be so fools to accept a person is God? And especially if that person is doing some kind of small magic. And I mean to say, okay, you can believe Krishna is God because he lifted Govardhan Hill. It was a big mountain, okay. He lifted Govardhan Hill. He killed so many demons. But if a person says, I am God, and what's the proof? Okay, here, he'll do some magic. and give you something, some apple, okay. Oh, Babaji, Swamiji is God. Why? Because he gave some apple. It's crap. It happens, I mean. So you see the point, why I'm telling you this, because people believe in India. People believe in South India there are 6,000 gods. I'm not joking. Not joking. 6,000 people claim they are God, they are Narayan, they are Vishnu. And people believe they are their followers. And educated people, by the way. Not uneducated. I'm not talking about uneducated people who don't know anything. Educated people. In Delhi, there are at least 40 gods. I know. In front of our society, there is one person who claims himself God. And every Sunday, there are cars there. And doctors, engineers, they go and he says, I am God, and they accept he's God. And then I can't understand what they're bragging. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. You know why they go? Because they'll go anywhere wherever their desires are fulfilled. Am I right?
Yes.
They don't care whether it is God or not. Okay, you're God, fulfill my desires. If my desires are fulfilled, I'll call you not God, I'll call you super God. I'll call you super God, but my things should be done. And if that God cannot fulfill your desires, then go to another God. And वो क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में? I don't know, you don't know Hindi, but गंगा में गंगा दास, जमुना में जमुना दास. You know this? Who cares, is God. So that's what is the problem there. And why it happens? Because people don't have any knowledge. You see, nobody reads Gita properly. Nobody explains Gita, and there's a big problem there. So God is Krishna. I'm not going into that. You can read Gita. You can read any scripture. Krishna is God, simple. There can be millions of Shivas, there can be millions of Brahmas, there can be millions of Durga, but Krishna is one. In fact, Skanda Puran, it begins with the verse that Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord and Durga Devi. Oh, this is Navaratri, no? So Durga Devi. They, without Krishna's mercy, they will reduce. If Krishna stops giving them mercy, they will fall down to the level of dog eaters. They can become like that. Yad anugrataha santi na santi yad upekshaya. Everything exists due to mercy of Krishna. That's Bhagavatam saying. Even time exists due to mercy of Krishna. If Krishna stops thinking about time, it will stop. You see, time is flowing, am I right? Is it flowing or not?
Yes.
You can't see, but it's flowing. It's flowing from future to past, is it? Yes? Come on. You're not hearing. It's flowing from past to future, not from future to past. Past, present, future. And it keeps on going like that. You can't reverse it. You can't do that. Physics says you can't do that. Physics speculate. You can. Physics says you can if there is a black hole and you enter a black hole, then within a black hole there's a wormhole. And if you by chance, if you make through that wormhole, you can go in past. There are some theories. But it's all theory. But as such, you cannot do time. You cannot do anything with time. It's flowing. It's flowing. So Krishna can stop time. Now, can anybody stop time? Can any scientist do that? They can't even understand what is time. Newton had time in the graph, isn't it? XY axis. You know that we used to make graphs, classical mechanics. You have distance and time, and then speed you calculate. So time. They asked Newton, what is time, by the way? You have something in axis, time. What is time? He said, you see the point. I don't understand two things. One is time and one is gravity. I know they are there. But if you ask me what are these, don't ask these questions. Don't ask these questions. Till today, we have no answer for these two questions. What is gravity? What is time? For gravity, we have some. Time, we have nothing. Krishna says, I am time. I can stop it. That much power he has. So it is very nice if we come in contact with him. If we come in contact with him, you are fearless, that's all. He can do anything. You are fearless. That's why devotees are not disturbed in any condition. Even at the point of death, they are not disturbed. Because they know Krishna is with us. Am I right? So suppose for example, you all, I mean to say, okay, fine, you all get a call from somewhere. You are here, no? You are all here or not? You are here, okay. And you get a call that your house is robbed. It's finished. They came with a truck and took everything. We were talking. Do people come with trucks, no? In America. He was telling, say, I don't know. They came with a truck and they even took your doors. What to say? So if you go in Vrindavan, they are thieves, and they come with a truck, and after 6 hours when you come back, you don't even find windows. Like everything is out, even nut bolts are out. Your house will be like when it was being constructed at that time with no windows, nothing. It's completely out. They will also even take out tiles from the floor. If you are a little bit, if you are out for a week, it happened with one of our devotees. No one devotee, but one person. He went for a week, he came back and there were no tiles even. No tube lights, nothing. So suppose if information comes, that your house is robbed, what will happen? You will become tensed? Yes or no?
Yes.
What happened then? And you will say, okay, Prabhuji, we have to go back. My house is robbed. Nothing is there, what to do, this, that. And suddenly another call comes. And that call is of Trump. And he says, well, I've heard that your houses are robbed, but don't worry, we'll reimburse everything and we'll take care of everything. And you know what, we'll also give you another flat as a bonus. Then what will happen? Will you go back?
No.
You will sit here nicely, Prabhuji, feasting, prasad, you forgot everything. No tensions. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, things are sorted, you see. Why? How did fear go? Because now a powerful person is there with you.
There will be assurance.
Yeah, assurance. He can make a change in your life. So, with devotees have no fear. If something happens in the life, we have assurance. From whom? From Krishna. We know because we are practicing devotion. We don't have doubt that we are connected with God and He's connected with us because we are chanting His names. With this process, chanting His names in a particular way. And we are doing His devotion. And we are coming near Him, He's coming near us. So we have absolutely no fear. That is why it is said, the greatest quality of a devotee is he's never disturbed in any condition. The whole material world is just kuntha. Am I right? Kuntha and Vaikuntha. Kuntha means there is always anxiety here. And why there is anxiety? Because we don't have assurance what will happen in future. That's why we are in anxiety, no? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? वो हिंदी में कहते हैं वही होगा जो मंजूर है खुदा होगा. It's a simple line, but it's a deep line. But to have that kind of conviction that God is with me, you need to train yourself. You need to do devotion, because you will lose that conviction when something will happen with you. You will have anxieties, and you see this. It is said in one of the Puranas that all these Ram and with his monkeys, they went to Sri Lanka. They crossed the ocean, and then they killed Raman. So all these people had to come back. So that bridge. That bridge was under the sea after some time. After when they're coming back, one of the versions is like that. So Vibhishan, what he did. So Ram and all the monkeys, they came back. But Vibhishan, he now. So when Ram went back, Ram destroyed that bridge. By the way, you know that, no? When he went back, he was going back to Ayodhya. Before going back to Ayodhya, he destroyed the bridge. And there's a place in Rameshwaram, Dhanushkoti. Do you know all of you have gone Rameshwaram? Anybody? Nobody went to Rameshwaram? Okay. Okay, so there is a place, Dhanushkoti, where Ram went when he was going back. He destroyed the bridge, and that's why there is no bridge now. Otherwise, there would have been a bridge. You don't see a bridge because Ram destroyed it. Why? Because he said, if I don't destroy it, then all the demons from Sri Lanka, they'll come to this place. So let's destroy it. So he destroyed. But then Vibhishan wanted to come with some of his friends to meet Ram. So they have to cross the ocean. Now Vibhishan had powers to fly, but these are demons, no? But some of his friends didn't have. So what Vibhishan did, Vibhishan said, okay, fine, let's cross the ocean. Okay, so then how to do that? Vibhishan said, okay, I'll do some magic, and here is a paper you catch hold of in your hand and you walk on the water. And you're able to walk it and just walk through the sea. So they gave this paper and everybody held it and they were walking. They said, I'm walking on water. What's this? This magic. Vibhishan said, keep on walking. And then in the middle of the sea, they said, what is that in paper? We're walking on water. What's there in paper? So Vibhishan said, don't look at paper. So, but they didn't listen. They opened the paper, and what was there? Ram. And this is, what is this Ram? What is this? Such a simple thing. How can this save us? And as soon as they thought that, they went down. They lost faith. That's the whole point. When we are in trouble, we tend to lose faith. We become disturbed. And that's a test there. People who are not trained, they will become disturbed and they'll lose faith. That's how. Now it is very easy to say we have faith in God, but when tests comes, and then there is a problem. Then half of the people will lose faith. Like for example, if a snake comes here, what will happen? If a snake comes here, everybody will run away, isn't it? He will not care about me. He will just run. What's happening? I'm here. You will forget everything. You will just want to get out of this room. Am I right? Snake is there. I'll keep on shouting, hey, come on, come on. I get lost, You will not be able even to hear my voice. I mean to say, how can I even stop you? You will not, you'll be panicked. You'll be panic. So you'll forget everything. You'll forget me, you'll forget God, you'll forget everything. And that's what happens if you're not trained. But with Bhakta Prahlad, it was not like that. Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill him. And they send lions and elephants to kill Prahlad. And Prahlad was simply not disturbed. He was simply chanting God's name. And he thought, if God wants to protect me, who can harm me? And if he doesn't want to protect me, who can protect me? Anyway, I'll die. Even without lion, I'll die. What to say of with lion? So that's the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee, or a devotee who is not practiced. So how come these devotees, Prahlad, Pashuram, how they have so much conviction in God, and they're not disturbed when problems come, and why we are not like that? That's the whole question. Am I right? They are chanting God's name, we are chanting God's name. Srila Prabhupada was chanting God's name, but he was not disturbed. So what the difference is this in this verse? Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya nirvitta kama. They have trained themselves. They have prepared themselves. And what they did, it is said here. So Krishna says, okay, you are chanting my name and you want to connect with me, but you have to prepare, because I don't connect with everybody. I mean to say, in Houston, Trump came, no? In Houston, Trump and Modi. What's that program? Howdy Modi? Howdy Modi. So Trump was there and so many people went to see him. So many people wanted to connect with Trump. But he didn't connect with anybody. He came and went. Am I right? And that's the whole point. So many people will, as a devotee, you want to connect with God, but the whole point is whether He wants to connect with you. That's the whole point. He is God. He doesn't make connection with everybody. Although he's very merciful, he's very, very merciful, but at the same time, he has a position. And he wants you to become deserving for his friendship. Am I right? You have to become deserving for his friendship. There is a point there. Okay, so how to become deserving so that Krishna keeps in touch with us? How to do that? Can you just ask Mataji? Yeah, just leave it. Listen now. Food, forget food. We can't keep on eating whole life. There's no time. I'm talking serious. I'm not talking joking. There's no time in life. Death can come anytime. That can come. Okay, food can come. So Nirvan, what I was saying, I just forgot. See, that's what happens. I just lose my train of thought. What I was saying? Yeah. Krishna will not be able to connect because he wants you to make yourself deserving. He wants you to come to a particular level. He wants you to become pure. That's the whole point. He's supremely pure. And he doesn't want to connect with impure people. He can't do that. Even we all, am I right? Do you want to make, suppose if you go to India and we ask you, okay, fine, become friends, make friends. You'll say, okay, good. With whom? So you have to make friends in India with people who are living in slums. Will you make friends? You will not. Why? They are also humans. You should respect them. But you will not make friends with people who are living in slum because there's a particular status. Kings will make friends with kings. Because friendship has to be done in same status. That's the rule there.
Equality.
Yeah, it happens like that. It naturally happens like that. Teachers make friends with teachers, billionaires with billionaires, paupers with paupers. A billionaire will not make friendship with pauper. It'll never happen like that. So Krishna is supremely pure. He wants to make friendship with supremely pure people. So we have to make ourselves pure. And then he will make friendship with us. He will connect, okay, yes. So how to make ourselves pure? That's the whole point. And that is the difference between different devotees. Every devotee is chanting, we are attending programs, but Krishna, we all want him, but from his side, he has a diary. And in his diary, there are sections. And in that section, there are some near and dear devotees to him, whom he likes, and he has put the names. In another section, there are devotees who are okay. So he writes. In another section, there are devotees who are officially connected. They simply do some official mechanical things, and that's okay. And rest of the diary, and then there are no names. That's all. People come, people go. So how should we do devotion so that our name comes in his personal diary? That's the whole point. And whose name will come? Who are pure. Now how to become pure? That's what Krishna is saying here. By the way, what's happening, I mean to say, is there some problem? Oh, they are leaving. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So okay, you can give them, but yeah. Actually, you know what I tell you? From next time, what you do? I'll tell you a practical thing. You make before a program, you make some packets of prasad already ready, because some people leave early. Every time this happens, am I right? So that packet of aluminium, क्या कहते हैं वो? Anybody goes, give them a packet. Okay. What do they say? Go away. You already make and keep it ready, because some people will anyway go. That's a very practical thing. We do that. So it's good. People feel nice also. Okay, we have this. Okay, so how to become pure? Now you understand. Now the whole question is how to become pure. So what to do? Okay, so Okay, I asked you one thing. What do you mean by purity? What's the meaning of purity? Shh, sit properly. Sit properly. Actually, you should not keep your feet like that. You have to learn how to sit. Okay. What do you mean by purity? Yeah. No, not regulated life. I told on that,
Discipline.
No, what do you mean by purity? If I say this person is pure, what do you mean by that? No? No bad habits. And no bad reflexes. I told two things. That person has no bad habits and no bad reflexes. Bad habits, it's like, bad habits are bad habits. I mean to say, okay, you're unclean, that's your habit. You don't get up early in the morning, that's your habit. Sleep late, that's your habit. These are all bad habits. Bad reflexes means anger. You're not always angry, but when situation comes, suddenly you're out of control. That's a reflex. It's a bad reflex. So there are bad reflexes and bad habits. So purity means you have no bad habits, bad reflexes. Your heart is, and bad emotions. All these things, bad habits, bad reflexes, bad emotions. Lust, anger, envy, greed, you don't have anything. And that's difficult to do, to keep your mind absolutely pure. So Krishna says, okay, get trained, no problem. How do you get a pure heart? How do you get a pure mind? A mind where you forgive, you can forgive anybody. You can forget and you can even forgive person who comes to kill you. That's a pure heart. As it is said in Bible, in Quran, everywhere it is said, a pure heart is a person who can love his enemies. That's very difficult to do. Just like Christ said, I mean to say, they were trying to kill him, crucify him, and Christ said, forgive them, O my Father. It's impossible to do, am I right? If somebody puts nails in your hands and you say forgive them, it's actually impossible. It's not humanly possible. I don't think so. Even a devotee can do it. Oh, the गालियाँ निकलेंगे मुंह से सीधा. Oh, he's putting nails, in your hand. What do you do with that? You can't say forgive. People tend to remember small things. Oh, they are just like... And that's a bad reflex. We have a bad reflex. We tend to remember small things. So one devotee, I was there, he was a devotee in India, and we were on the road, and somebody parked his car wrong. In America it's a big thing, but in a temple they parked wrong, and that devotee came and he started shouting at that person. He said, why did you park like this, and this. So anyway, he also started shouting, and there was a fight, and then he took his car, he took back. And then that devotee said, you see, I will teach him a lesson now. I told him, what happened? I mean to say, you had a fight and he asked for forgiveness and it was okay. He told, no, 20 years back he did the same thing. Okay. That's how people think, by the way. People can't forget. People can't forget. Forget and then forgive, that's another thing. So that's a pure heart. He can do that. That person can do that. A pure heart is without envy. A pure heart is always working for the welfare of others, devoid of selfishness. He's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about benefit of others. Am I right? This is a good person. Even to hear this is good. Even if you hear these things, it's nice. And if you become like that, you can imagine. So, but you need a training for that. What do you have to do? Krishna says, Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. Krishna gives a formula here. Okay. Practice. What do you have to practice? Start with what? Nirman. Nirman means be free from false prestige. Okay, start. If you want to become pure, do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you have to do? First is be free from false prestige. That means, in other words, don't be proud of your career, of your success, The whole point is, now you might say, of your riches, of your status, don't be proud of that. That's false. Understand that. And how to do that? How to be free of false prestige? I am this, I am that, I am that, I am this. How to be free of that? Krishna says, begin with that. By understanding that your soul, you are not this body, this all is not connected with you. This is not connected with me. All this career, money, everything is connected to your body and to situations. Your soul, you have nothing to do with this. In next life, you will be something else. Next life will be something else. Situations change. A king can become a pauper, and the pauper can become a king. So what you are proud of? So if you understand this philosophy, and if you understand your spirit soul, you will be free of false prestige. Okay, begin like this. Prabhupada says, 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗪𝗲𝗀 vinirmuktam. Prabhupada says, become free of all false designations. I'm male, I'm female. That's a false designation. The greatest sin anybody can do in this world is not to kill and not to rob. I mean, people say, no, to kill somebody, it's a sin. He's a bad person. Or maybe he stole, he's a bad person. The greatest sin is to consider yourself this body. What about that? Krishna says that. In Gita it comes. Prabhupada quotes in Gita. What's that? Prabhupada quotes in the purport. Brahmani, what's that? Yeah, Kripana and Brahmani, when Prabhupada explains there. And afterwards it's explained in commentaries. The greatest sin is to consider yourself body. So in that context, everybody is a sinner. Everybody thinks he's his body. Because as soon as you think yourself body, you will automatically become selfish. You see, everything begins from that. I'm this body. I'm hungry. I don't have food. So what to do? There's no money. Let's steal. It will come. Or I'm this body. Somebody's coming to kill me. Oh, I have to protect myself. You will have fear. Because I'm this body. Something will happen to you. You will have fear. And then you will fight with him. And you will have enmity. You see, everything begins like this. But if you understand. Okay, so this is Nirman Moha. So begin like this. Understand first your spirit soul. Not just understand, but you have to act on that platform. What's happening?
It is stopping in between.
Yeah. I think I have to. It's not a good method to do YouTube. I have to change this. Okay, fine. So you have to understand your spirit soul, but you have to act on that platform. You see, you can't just say, I am. In India, you ask people, Bhai, Atma or. In India, everybody can give pravachan on Atma and Sharir. Even rickshawala can do that. Hum sab Atma hai, Sharir nahi. You see, there's ambience, so anybody can talk. But to live on that platform, that's a very different thing. So how do you live a life with a conception, your soul and you're not this body? A person who thinks he is his body, how his life will be? And a person who thinks his soul, how his life will be? There will be a very difference. You can immediately understand by his living pattern whether he is living with the conception his soul or is living with the conception his body. You can immediately understand. And what will be the difference? What will be the difference in their action and behaviors? A person who is living on the platform of soul, he knows, okay, I am this soul. His life will be totally different. And a person who thinks he is body, his life will be totally different. You can't really cheat. You can't say, oh, I am not this body, I am soul, but his actions are completely different. You can understand that easily. So what will be the difference between both?
Disturbance or attachment?
No, externally. How do we recognize? Suppose you go to a friend's house and you say, Prabhuji, have you read Gita? Yes. Do you understand your soul and not this body? Yeah, I know from childhood. When I was born, I knew. I am soul, I am not this body. But you can see him and you can tell whether he is just lip service or is really living on that platform. How will you tell? How will you tell that?
It's faith.
No, let her.
Probably if he's scared that something will happen, like probably if you know that there is someone you don't know outside.
He says, I'm not scared.
But you can see the fear in their eyes. Don't you? Like he
No.
says, I'm not scared.
He's an actor. You need some evidence. You don't need something subjective. Am I right? You need evidence. What will the difference? You can easily tell.
Less material possessions.
Less material possessions. It's decent. I mean, we have a fridge, we have a TV, and we have a sofa. We should have at least this much. What possessions? People don't have a palace, Is there? You see how many possessions I have. You can't tell by that. Beggars have less possessions, so are they living on spiritual platform? No. How do you tell that? You can tell by the actions. So, yeah.
My mom just said that he looked at everybody in the same level, whether he's smaller or bigger.
That person? No, but you see, that's very subjective, am I right? Your person, your friend can say, I look at everybody at same level. He can speak lies also, no? Yeah, anybody can say. But you're a doctor, you have to diagnose. Patient can speak, I'm a doctor, by the way. I was a doctor in AIMS, Delhi. But now I left. So as a doctor, if patient speaks, patient used to speak, doctor, it can be like this, it can be like this. If 30 seconds they will speak and we'll just slap him. Shut up. And he'll just shut up. And then we tell, take this medicine, otherwise get lost. And he'll take this medicine and he'll become okay. Of course, you can't do in private things and all this. But in private things, in private practice, what happens is these people, they are educated people and they're too intelligent. They have no idea what's body all about, what's medicine. They read something on Google and they come and tell us, Doctor Saab, this is complication and you're giving medicine for, it's written 7 days, but you're giving out 3 days. You see people talk and then they don't tell us properly. So we have to, by the symptoms, we have to understand what's happening with them. Otherwise, they will say, I'm having pain here, I'm having pain here, I'm having pain here. Everywhere they're having pain. What do you do with that? So by symptoms, you have to understand. So we see, okay, fine. Whether they are rashes, fever, you see, which you can see things. Fever, you see, which you can see things. And then you diagnose. Oh, Hare Krishna, what's this?
Alexa, stop.
Yeah, Alexa, stop. It's not Alexa.
She's disturbed. Alexa is disturbed. Okay. So how do you differentiate between a person who is living at platform of soul and a person who is not living at platform of soul? People can say anything. That's all. Even devotees can assume that, yes, I understand, I'm soul, I'm not this body, but their actions are completely different. They are completely living on bodily platform. So how do you differentiate? That's the question there.
By a test.
What test?
The reflex.
We will steal their laptop and we will see whether they're getting disturbed or not. It's a test. They get disturbed, oh, you're not soul platform. Maybe.
Like, we can see like how much they are dependent on Krishna. The whatever situation, how they handle that.
What situation? There's no situation.
Like,
You just went to meet him for 15 minutes and you have to tell me. How will you tell? That's expertness you should be. Expert people will tell, no. We can tell just by seeing. We don't even need to talk. Even devotees, I mean to say. You meet some people, you just see him from top to bottom, you can tell he's out. Space out. Even if he's devotee since 20 years, we can tell by seeing he's out. He's not a devotee. Simple. So as you become expert, you know. Am I right? That's what I'm asking.
think about us.
Why are you asking such questions in public?
That you forget that. Okay, so you can tell, I mean to say, if a person go to his house, sit for 15 minutes, the first thing is you talk to him. By his words you can tell. What he speaks, you can tell on what platform he's living. If he's living on bodily platform, he'll speak about this comforts, he'll speak about his own, his car, his material possessions. He'll be just in that thing. His body, mundane things.
What about
So-
he speaks about deities?
No, but first thing you do that. Even if he speaks about deities, he will say, Prabhuji, my deities are so nice and we offer so nice prasadam and eat so nice prasadam. That's all he's thinking. He's thinking of food. We can understand what he is doing. He is thinking of matter. Food, eating, mating, sleeping, defending. That's the whole idea. His all subject revolves around these four things. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Defending means money. For humans, defending is money. Am I right? He's talking about these things, even in devotional life. So it's all bodily concept of life. And but you talk to him and he'll talk like that. So in 2 minutes you'll understand. 2 minutes. And a person who is on spiritual platform, if you talk to him, his words will be very different. And he will like to talk. He will say, okay, well, what he will say, okay, fine, whether we get food or not, let's focus on, okay, let's discuss Gita. You see the point? He'll not be concerned about bodily necessities of life much. Because he knows, I'm not this body. He will not waste time in arranging things for bodily necessities of life. And you can know by his behavior and by his actions. That's one thing. He will not waste time in seeing TV. This box is just 100% information, is just concerned with what? With body, am I right? There's no information concerned with spirit, soul here in this media. Everything is to increase your bodily attachment. So if you go to his house and if he's seeing TV and we understand he's not there. It's a waste of time, am I right? You can have TV, but you can watch good things rather than stupid things. But if he's seeing all nonsense things and if he's just seeing all around, sometimes you can. And he was, quite, you don't waste your time.
And they see in computer.
But then he was saying, then I asked, why don't you have TV? He said, well, we watch everything on computer. Okay. So the point is, he's not interested in any news and any information which is on mundane platforms. Austerities. Some austerity should be there. Simple living, high thinking. That's a person on spiritual platform. Simple living, high thinking. And person who is on bodily platform, his life is high living and no thinking. Doesn't think anything about spiritual life. He's just money. For him, money is God. That's all. For money, people kill. For money, people leave what they do. So that's the first thing. Second thing is moha. Be free of illusion. Illusion means be free of false ideas. Krishna says, don't take false ideas. Don't take wrong information from anywhere. Because if you take false ideas, you'll be convinced by that, and then you will start thinking something else which is not reality. You'll get confused and you will lose the goal of life. And how not to take false ideas? Krishna says, be free from false association. Jita sanga dosha. Don't keep wrong friends. Make friendship with devotees, with wise people. Don't make friends with fools. If you have fools around you, you become fools. Am I right? What's that? There's a saying. They're saying in English.
Man is known by the company.
Yeah. No. This is the saying. Man is known by the company he keeps. And there's another saying. Yeah.
Who your friend is,
Actually,
I'll
yeah.
tell who you are.
Yeah. Who your friend is, and I'll tell who you are. That's a very good saying. So don't make fools your friends. Fools means those who don't know about spiritual things, who has no idea of life or reality. They're simply talking mundane things. No, don't make. If you make your fools your friends, slowly you know what will happen, you also become a fool. It will happen like that, and you will not even know that you have become a fool. Why? Because a fool thinks he's wise. That is a fool. That's you will never know. So that's what it goes. So be free from false friends, and then you talk something of stuff. You talk something wise things, and then what you do in association of devotees? What you do? You have parties? No. That's not the whole point. What do you do by association? Eat prasad? No, that's not the whole point. That's a part of the program. But that's not what we are here for. Okay, let's do one thing. Suppose you come for a program and we don't give you prasadam. Will you come for next program or not? Yes or no? Okay, today don't give prasadam. Let them. Then we'll see. Tomorrow is a program. Whether they'll come or not. Then they will say, oh, you didn't give even food to us.
We'll eat and come.
They are. They'll say. But you know what? I am giving you food for soul. And you are interested in food for body. It will not help you. You can say it's prasad and it will purify your soul. You can say that, but you are actually deceiving yourself. That's all. If it is prasad, then I mean to say it's difficult to eat food in the consciousness prasad. It takes time for that. Now we are in a position that as soon as, see, if you know what we are, not about you, about myself, I'll tell. Till the time food is on the altar, it is prasad. As soon as it comes off the altar on a dining table, it's food. It happens like that. We forget everything, am I right? It's just food for us. We lose that. Am I right? We can lose that consciousness very easily. It comes and then you're eating and then you forget it's prasad. And you know why? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was conscious it is prasad. When he used to eat, he used to weep. What about that? With every food bite, he used to weep. Tears used to come. You know why he used to weep? Yeah, because he used to taste that food and he used to think, oh, this is offered to God. And I'm away from him. Am I right? We are here, God is there, we have separated. So he feels that separation. And then he weeps. Isn't it? And that it happens with all of us. I mean to say, if your kid sends some pastry from, oh, you're in America, suppose you send something from here. Some nice, maybe what do you send? What do you send from here?
Nuts and chocolate.
Okay, chocolates you send. You send to your, suppose your kid is there, your children. Huh? Parents. You send to your parents chocolates, from nuts and chocolates, and they receive. When they will eat chocolate, they'll remember you. Am I right? Especially your mother. Oh, my children are there. And if she's too attached, she might get tears also. After so many years, we didn't meet him. They are there for 10 years and they'll feel happy, but they will weep also because they'll get so much remembrance. That's what is prasad. What do you say about that? Does it happen with us? No. Rohan? He's a kid. He's exempt. You're below 14 years? You're exempted with all things. No problem. So we are exactly not taking food. It's a food. It's mixed. It's mixed feeling now. It's done. Okay. So it's mixed feeling. Am I right? So that's why he says, okay, you take association of river, jit sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya. You come and congregate to take adhyatma nitya, spiritual knowledge. That's why we are here for. Spiritual knowledge. That's all. The more knowledge you take, the more you advance. Bas. Just you have to do one thing. When you take spiritual knowledge, you have to do one thing. Just one thing is expected from you, nothing else. Don't sleep. And even if you can't do that, then who can help you? Rest of the things I am doing, am I right? You are doing nothing. You are doing nothing, you are sitting and hearing. I am thinking, I am speaking, I am explaining you. And if you can't even do that, then how God will help you? Am I right? He will say, what should I do? What more I can do? They even can't sit properly and they are sleeping, then what to do? So that's what God expects from you. Is it a big expectation? Tell me. He is saying go to Himalayas. He is saying eat less. He's not saying, he is saying, Baba, don't sleep in lecture. Take out some time, come here, that's all. Sit and hear, you don't have to do anything. Just sit and hear, that's all. Slowly you'll start understanding things. Initially you will not understand things. Slowly if you keep on hearing, you will understand. Simple as that as well. Simple. Adhyatma Nitya. And if you keep on taking any knowledge, Krishna says, then what happens? Then what you do? Vinivritta kama. You become free of all material desires, all wrong desires, bad habits, bad reflexes, bad thoughts. They keep on going. And when bad habits and bad desires, you are free of that, then dvande vimukta, then you become free of dualities. Dualities means cold, happiness, distress, pain, pleasure. You are not disturbed by all these things. These come and go in your life. And you are like a witness to them. And not at all disturbed. Things will happen, things will go. But okay, fine. Because now you understand you have nothing to do with these things. Your connection with this God, your spirit soul, you are eternal. Nothing can happen to you. And nobody can take anything from you because nobody can steal good qualities from you. Nobody can steal God from you. So you're okay with that. You're dvandir vimukta sukadukka sangair gachante mudha padamavevam tat. Krishna says then you will become amudha. Amudha means, mudha means fool, amudha means wise. Then in my vision, he is a wise person who is following this. Otherwise everybody else is fool. That's all. So you can say he's an educated fool. Prabhupada said, if a person doesn't have spiritual knowledge, he's an educated fool. Mudha. Yeah, Prabhupada uses that word. So he is like Mr. So-and-so, MBBS, MD, PhD, fool. Bracket close. Prabhupada says, if you don't know anything about God, if you don't know about yourself, what do you call? Isn't it? If suppose you go in a train, suppose you ask somebody, who are you? He says, I don't know. What's your name? I don't know. What do you do? Yeah, actually I'm a doctor and I'm a PhD, I'm a super specialist. But actually I don't know who am I and what's my name. I don't know. So what do you call such a person? Yeah, you call him, are you mad? You're a psycho person or what? Am I right? He's a psycho. So such people Krishna calls, who have absolutely no knowledge of Gita, have not read anything, they have a psychiatric problem, according to Krishna. They don't know themselves. So they're fools. Padam abhyam tat. Krishna says, if you practice like this, then slowly you become wise. When you chant, you're chanting, I will hear and it will be very sweet for me because you'll become pure. When with purity you chant, I'll become impressed. And I will make friendship with you. I'll come near you. You don't need to come to me. I'll come to you. And I'll come in touch with you. And that life is perfect then. Once you contact God, your life is perfect. Finish. God will take care of you eternally. So that is Gita, all about this verse. Go and read this verse, 15th chapter. What's this verse? Fifth verse. So you read this, go and have a read on this book. Everybody has Gita in their homes? You have? Who is new here? You are new? You have? You come to programs or what? Okay. You came for the first time. You have this Gita, ISKCON Gita? Okay, good. So yeah, you can come in programs and read this. Go and read 15th chapter, 15th verse today. And then things will be okay. Okay, any questions? One question and I am finished here. Finish. But before that, just a minute. Where are my books? I just want to tell and then we finish it off. Just a minute. Actually, you know what? Yeah. I don't know whether. Yeah. Just give me two. Okay, I have some books, and if you want these books, I mean to say, new people have. You meet so many people, and you might also have got so many ideas. Who is God? Why there are so many scriptures? What is yoga? What is soul? What is ghost? What is alien? There's so many questions in our mind. All those questions I have dealt in this book. Whatever people are going to ask, they're in this book. Most of them, because of my preaching experience. This book is Crazy Ideas, Answering the Atheists. People say spiritualists are escapist. They don't do anything. They are not contributing to society. Am I right? They're chanting names. Better go and help society. There are so many ideas. I mean to say, some ideas are wrong, some ideas are partial truths. So you should have answers for that. So I have given answers in this Crazy Ideas. Arguments from philosophy, from theosophy, from scriptures. So you can read this, it will help you in preaching and could convince yourself also. You should have good answers for everything. Else you will be confused. This is one book, Science Fails to Explain Life. This is about life, about science. Science students can read this to know that science has failed to explain life. They have no idea what life is. But Krishna says life, soul is my part and parcel. Life comes from life. That's what Prabhupada says. Science says life comes from matter. So we are trying to refute that thing in this book. Scientists themselves have refuted this. They are confused. What is the alternate paradigm? That's there in this book. And this is for devotees, small but mighty efforts. If you don't have, you can please take. Can you please wait for a second? That's all. I'm just finishing. Just for a second. Just for a second. Just for a minute. This book, Mighty Efforts, I mean to say, devotees should know what exactly they are doing, why they are doing, when they advance. Just like I asked, what are the symptoms of a person who is actually acting on spiritual platform? So all these questions I've dealt here. I've written the book again, Small but Mighty Efforts. You have to put some efforts in devotion to get above your you understand base nature? It pulls you. You have to get above that and get a godly nature. And that needs efforts. So how to do efforts, that's there in this book. So you can you can see these books if you want to have these books. This is one pen drive. I have lectures. Last time I brought, but there are many new lectures here also. There are 400 hours of lectures and 8 hours of video. So you can put in your car, keep on hearing. You can contact me on my email. We can share answers. So if anybody wants these, you can have from me here and look it. If you don't have a cash, we can swipe the card. And thank you very much for coming. Hare Krishna, 𝗙 Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, I like this.
His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhu ki jai.
It's done? We have to see what happened with this mess. It was just cancelling and